If you're watching this right now, then it's likely that you don't have a money problem, you have a nervous system problem. And that's getting in the way of you creating the level of financial abundance that I know you so deeply desire. That's not a metaphor, it's quite literally biology. But once you learn how to recode it, and through the 3 techniques that I'm going to teach you today, you're going to start to see and rewire wealth and abundance like you've never seen before. Welcome to Manifestation Pulse. I have personally coached over 200 people over the last 5 years by using the Pulse method to become magnetic to everything they're trying to manifest. And at the heart of that manifestation is really understanding how your nervous system controls so much of what you can hold, and therefore the energy and the vibration that you attract back to you. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the one specific part of your nervous system that's running it all. And that's your vagus nerve. 2, the loop of poverty and lack that you're currently stuck in and why. And 3, we're going to be going over specific techniques that I use with my clients from the Pulse method for you to start to recode what financial abundance looks like, feels like, and starts getting driven into your life starting today. Okay, let's start with the anatomy. What is the vagus nerve? Or how I like to describe it, the master controller of your nervous system. So your vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve that goes from the stem of your brain all the way through your neck, your heart, your lungs, even through to your gut. And it controls the parasympathetic system, quite literally your fear, flight or fight stage. But what's so interesting about your vagus nerve is it's the only one that has a direct connection from gut to brain. And 80% of that connection doesn't flow from brain to gut. It flows from gut and body to brain. So the common thesis is that most people think that your brain is telling your body what to do. But the vagus nerve flips that on its head. The vagus nerve is telling your brain how to perceive, how to think, and how to react to the world around you. So why does that matter in terms of your financial success? Well, it essentially governs what it thinks is safe for you. So if you were stuck in a poverty loop, then what's going to happen is that as you enter adult life, those same beliefs that are ingrained in your nervous system, your vagus nerve as the master controller of that is going to start to make sure that your brain knows that your current financial limits are what keeps you safe. So let me expand on that. And this are the 3 stages of the poverty loop. So if you were someone who grew up with a relative lack of financial success, now that doesn't mean you grew up poor, but you grew up conscious of money and things being tight and feeling that in certain situations, you, your family, or your friends, but in your life, you never quite had enough. So what that started to do from a nervous system perspective is it started to root this idea that there was never quite enough money around. But that quite enough money, or not quite enough money, still meant your safety. So that initial loop gets exponentially greater as you enter adult life. And so then as you expand, as you go for new financial opportunities, as you seek an investment, as you see an opportunity to really expand, as you go for that job promotion, what happens? Your vagus nerve kicks in your gut and it says to you, remember from your childhood, remember what kept you safe. This expansion, as highly exciting a potential as it has the potential to derail you. It has the potential to actually make us unsafe. And don't forget, it's our body telling our brain that. And that's why when you're going for a job promotion, when you're seeing a new investment opportunity, when you've got a new product or idea, something kicks in usually around your gut or your throat, that feels like a physical block. It feels like a physical tension telling you that you can't do it. That is literally your vagus nerve in action, and it's flowing upward from gut to brain. So your brain is then wired to keep you safe. And that loops back to lack. It loops back to what your body, your mind, your subconscious believes is keeping you safe, which is not financial expansion. So that's really important to know, because once you understand what's happening and you don't become the reactor, but the observer to that, then you can start to reroute the anatomy and start to reroute what your vagus nerve is doing for your wealth and abundance. So how do you start to recode your vagus nerve around wealth and around abundance? Well, let's take a step back first. We have to realize that this is all going to happen in your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind. Because remember, if you are stuck in a loop of lack when it comes to wealth and abundance, all you're seeing around you and all your conscious mind will see around you is lack. So you need to go a level deeper than that into your subconscious. What does that mean? Well, it means that you can't think your way out of this. You can't simply affirm your way out of this. You can't look in the mirror every morning and go, I am wealthy, I am rich, if actually your body is telling you different. And that's really important to know, because so many of my clients, when we first start working together, they will say to me, Hanson, I've done the affirmations, I've done the visualization, I've done the journaling, but nothing is changing. Of course it's not, because you're trying to think your way out of the problem. You're trying to work and change in a 3D world using your conscious mind. Really what you have to do is recode your subconscious, because that's the program that's ultimately going to affect, align and change your conscious mind and world. So how are we going to do this? So I teach my clients as parts of the Pulse model 3 steps. Step 1, you're going to need to re-anchor. You have to go beyond traditional affirmations. And what you are going to do here, number 1, is pause and ground. You are going to, before any major financial decision or just any encounter where you feel finances are important, going to place a hand over your sternum and over your belly. So your belly is here. Your sternum is the T-bone area connecting your chest and your lungs. Why? Because actually that's the most physical place where your vagus nerve is physically located in your body. So you have to feel it quite literally. What you're going to do 3 times is you're going to take an inhale for 4 seconds and an exhale for 7. Why that difference? That exhale is very, very purposeful. And what it's doing is it's slowing your heart rate down. When you slow your heart rate down, you are quite literally calming your nervous system and you are grounding yourself. This is the part that a lot of people miss before they affirm. They wake up, they're already thinking about things. Their 3D world, their conscious mind is already live and active. And that's why when you're trying to think your way, when you're trying to affirm your way through lack, that never works, because you're building on something that's already running. So what you need to do is ground the system first. Hand over sternum, hand over belly, in, out for 7 seconds. Again. In, out for 7 seconds. Can you feel that? Good. Then you're ready for the next step. Step 2, unlock the throat. Your vagus nerve relies on movement. It is quite literally the movement of cells and neurons that controls it. So hum sing from this grounded state, awaken and be aware of that vagus nerve. So I've had clients who are literally singing as they're doing this. They're humming, they're talking, but they're using voice and momentum in a way to really recharge, reset that vagus nerve. Don't be shy about it. I know it might sound strange when you're first seeing this, but you will see the difference. You will notice the difference. And your emotion will create emotion, particularly in that pathway. Step 3, layer the frequency. Now that you have grounded your nervous system, now that you have activated it, this is where you bring in the identity. This is where you tell yourself, wealth is safe for me to hold. Wealth is my natural state. Financial abundance exists all around me. Now, comment, which wealth affirmation do you want to use? Or maybe which wealth affirmation you're struggling with? I will read them. I will reply and respond with something that you might want to think about for something even better for you. But let's make this intentional, because I want to make sure that whatever wealth affirmations you're using, you're doing from a place of grounding, doing from a place of resetting and clearing, so that the identity can land. You will want to do this practice every single day for at least 7 days. The grounding, the recharging, and the new identity. But how do you sustain it? Here's the really important part. Your nervous system will not overnight shift into a new wealth frequency until you learn how to tell your nervous system that this new level of financial abundance is safe for you. Because don't forget, all of that old programming that says to you that financial abundance is unsafe, it's the thing that's keeping you potentially away from being safe, is the total workaround. It's the thing that's going to make you magnetic to more money and more financial abundance than you ever imagined possible. But what you have to do to sustain it is prove to your nervous system that you can hold it. How do you do that? You celebrate evidence. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you get to day 6 of doing this, and you start to notice little things. Maybe there was a bit more money in your bank account than you thought. Maybe an unexpected mini windfall came your way, perhaps a little bonus. Perhaps you got a gift. Something that circulated around your wealth and your abundance came in for you. Don't just bypass that. Celebrate it. Observe it, even for a few seconds. Realize what it was, which is a small step towards something bigger. But what you do by actually taking it in, by celebrating it, is you're telling your nervous system, yeah, I'm safe to hold this. This is coming into my world. And the more and more you celebrate that, the more and more your nervous system will start to relax, will start to recode itself towards this new level of financial wealth and abundance. Because you've proved to it that it is safe, that it is your new default programming. And by doing that, step by step, you are going to see new waves of abundance. But that will only happen if you can follow this 3-step process and if you learn how to sustain it. If you want more information on that, download the Pulse model. It's available for free in the comments below, where we teach you exactly where you're stuck in your manifestation journey beyond financial abundance and what you can start to do today to start to reach and ascend to your highest level ever. It's what I've taught clients over the last 5 years, and it's what I'm so excited for you to get started on today. And it's free. So download it today. So I hope that's been useful for you today. I think vagus nerve understanding is one of the most powerful and pertinent areas for your manifestation success. But don't stop there, because your manifestation is about so much more than just wealth. So subscribe if this connected to you. share it with a friend, comment below about which affirmations you've been struggling with or what you want more help with. And let's start to make real wealth and financial abundance your new default.